Hi everyone, my name is Heather Thacker, developer advocate at Chef. Maybe you remember me from last year's talk on baking and DevOps, and we all know that eggs are crucial in a lot of baking recipes, just as node management is critical for DevOps. So, in order to be effective in the chicken coop or infrastructure, whether it's a fleet of nodes or a web farm, it's important to understand the characteristics of the environment and leverage the tools that are available to you. And this requires a lot of planning, scheduling, and automating because chickens have dependencies. They rise with the sun and sleep at sunset, and they need water, grass, food. Infrastructure jobs also have dependencies like backups for maintenance, health checks before deployments, and automating to manage at a large scale. So we can think of successful chicken coops and DevOps fundamentals in 3 pillars: dependency management, as in securing the environment before releasing to run; failure handling, having backups for security risk; and smooth workflows, things that run without your intervention. So here are 3 lessons from the chicken coop that mirror scenarios in job orchestration. This is all about preparing for problems, understanding the lifecycle sequences, and automating those repetitive tasks. And breathing. For predators, lesson 1, hawks and owls are really strong predators, and most people and animals find chickens to be delicious. Similarly, SSH keys are irresistible targets for attackers because they're stored credentials that become entry points for lateral movement and persistent access. And in a compromised infrastructure, you disable those affected SSH nodes, and when a hawk attacks, you secure the flock, count the survivors, because those systems need immediate isolation without losing those management capabilities because the hawk is probably circling overhead. So it's best to monitor and control security remotely. Agent-based orchestration lets you execute commands and playbooks on servers without that opening those pathways, and your automated systems respond to those commands through secure authenticated channels. So with your chickens, it's nice to have decoy owls to scare those hawks and roosters to protect the hens, because zero trust architecture really eliminates those stored keys that become the attack vectors. And in this case, you want to trust nothing, authenticate everything. Lesson 2, patching. Sometimes your fence falls over because it's windy, or you have holes in the fence over time for wear and tear, and similarly, your web farm needs routine patching as well. It's necessary to secure and fix those things methodically and verify the repair before moving on. So with your node farm, maybe you need to retain data availability, so a systematic approach is taking out every 3rd node to maintain those service levels without compromising more capacity than your system can handle, because it's not reasonable to take down the whole fence for some repairs. So after each patch, you want to test the strength and durability. You want to shake that fence by validating the URL health checks, verifying service statuses, and testing applications. Because when a chicken gets out, it can take hours to chase down a small hen, and you need those safety precautions in place, because failed patches, they also need rollback procedures, service frustration, and stakeholder communications. Chasing those chickens and recovering those failed deployments requires preparation and calm execution to prevent the really big disasters from happening. Lesson 3, routine maintenance. You need to change the bedding to keep the chickens from getting sick or overheating in the summer from ammonia buildup. Similarly, certificate rotation, it's not glamorous work, but you have to do it, because if they expire, then your entire service goes dark. You don't change the bedding when the chickens are laying eggs or when they're roosting for the night. You don't rotate certificates during peak traffic periods, because you need to coordinate with the application schedules so that you can plan maintenance to minimize the disturbance of the chicken flock or the node fleet. You want to make sure that the chickens are laying eggs comfortably afterwards, and after certificate deployment, you want to validate the TLS handshakes, test the service connectivity, and verify the certificate chains. And you want to make sure that the maintenance hasn't disturbed those workflows, so everything just runs smoothly. If you ignore the dirty chicken bedding for too long, there are deadly consequences. And if you ignore those certificate expirations, you face servage outages, emergency deployments, and angry users. So the regular maintenance really prevents those small problems from becoming expensive emergencies. So whether you're nurturing nodes or chickens, the success requires excellent planning and cooperation, from predator protection to patch management, from certificate rotation to infrastructure orchestration. It's all about respecting those dependencies, handling failures gracefully, and I learned that automation, it doesn't eliminate the work, but it allows you to focus on the things that matter, like fresh eggs for your kitchen and healthy nodes for business infrastructure. So both they require attention, planning, and emergency troubleshooting, because at the end of the day, we want healthy, productive, successful nodes. Thank you all for listening. Here are ways to connect. I hope that you're all considering adding some chickens to your home infrastructure. And if you want to talk more about job orchestration or chickens, come find me at the sponsor table for Chef. Thank you.